The copper taste of blood was a sharp contrast to the expensive Chardonnay chilling on the granite island. Elena leaned against the counter, her fingers trembling as she clutched the iPhone. Across the room, Mark smoothed his silk tie in the hallway mirror, his face a mask of calm corporate perfection. "You're being hysterical, Elle," he said, his voice a smooth, terrifying baritone. "The neighbors think we're the golden couple. Do you really want to ruin that over a little misunderstanding?" Little misunderstanding. That was his word for the bruised ribs and the shattered vase. Welcome, story lovers. Before we begin, hit like and let us know in the comments which city you're watching from. Elena didn't respond. She simply tapped 3 digits. 1, 1, 1. Her thumb hovered over the second one. Mark didn't move, but his eyes darkened, a predator tracking a wounded deer. "They won't believe you," he whispered, stepping closer. "I'm the CFO of a hospital foundation. You're a freelance artist with a history of anxiety, which I've documented quite well." Elena pressed the call button. The ringing sound felt like a lifeline. 911, what is your emergency?" a woman's voice chirped. Elena opened her mouth, but her throat was a desert. Mark was suddenly there, a blur of motion. His hand clamped over hers, twisting the device away with agonizing force. He brought the phone to his lips, smiling. "No one's coming, Elle. Not for you." Mark canceled the call before the operator could speak again. He tossed the phone onto the plush sofa as if it were trash. "You think you're so clever, don't you?" he sneered, pacing the kitchen floor. Elena backed away, her heart hammering against her chest like a trapped bird. Every shadow in their designer home felt like a cage. "I'm leaving, Mark," she whispered, her voice gaining strength. "I'm not the fragile project you can fix anymore." Mark laughed, a cold, hollow sound that filled the room. "Leave? With what money? I've moved all the accounts." "You're a liability, Elena. If you walk out, I'll make sure the world knows you've had another episode. I'll have you committed before you reach the driveway." The threat hung in the air, heavy and suffocating. He didn't touch her, but the psychological weight was more paralyzing than any blow. Elena looked at the portrait of them on the mantel, smiling, perfect, only a lie. She remembered the flash drive hidden in the freezer, the one with the offshore records she'd stumbled upon. If he knew she had it, he wouldn't just be threatening. Her reputation. "I know about the Foundation's secret fees, Mark," she said, her voice steadying. Mark froze, his composure cracking for a second. The silence that followed was deafening. If this story is touching your heart, subscribe now. More real, powerful moments like this are coming, and the next one is unforgettable. Suddenly, 3 sharp, rhythmic raps echoed loudly through the foyer. The sound of the knocking was heavy, authoritative, and completely unexpected. Mark's eyes darted toward the front door, then back to Elena. The predator's confidence flickered, replaced by a twitch of raw nerves. "Who the hell is that?" he hissed, grabbing her wrist with a bruising grip. "Did you call someone before the 911 attempt? Tell me, Elena." He was no longer the polished executive. He was a man staring at a crumbling levee. "I didn't have to call," Elena said, her voice dropping to a calm she didn't know she possessed. The pain in her wrist felt distant, a physical price for the clarity blooming in her mind. "I just had to wait for you to get sloppy. You thought I was staring at the walls all those months, didn't you? I was watching the ledger, Mark. Every penny you took from the cancer ward." Mark let go of her as if she had turned into hot coal. "You're bluffing. You don't have the stomach for this." He straightened his jacket, trying to summon his usual mask of superiority. "I'll just tell them you're having a breakdown. One look at you and they'll believe me. Look at yourself. You're a mess." He began walking toward the door, his stride regaining its arrogant rhythm. Elena stood her ground, her gaze fixed on the shadows moving behind the frosted glass of the entrance. "I'm not the one they're looking for, Mark," check the driveway. Mark paused, his hand inches from the handle as blue light began to pulse against the walls. Mark pulled the heavy oak door open, a practiced, charming smile already forming on his lips. "Officers, thank God you're here. My wife is having a severe medical episode and—" He stopped mid-sentence. Standing on the porch weren't just patrol officers, but two men in dark suits holding leather folders. The blue and red strobes from the driveway illuminated the driveway, revealing 3 black SUVs blocking his escape. "Mark Sterling?" the taller man asked, his voice devoid of emotion. "We're with the Financial Crimes Division. We have a warrant for your arrest regarding the embezzlement of hospital funds and tax evasion." Mark's face drained of color, turning a sickly shade of gray. "This is a mistake," he stammered, backing into the foyer. "My wife? She's the one who's unstable. She's been hallucinating about accounts." Elena stepped forward, her silhouette framed by the light of the home he had turned into a prison. She held the small black flash drive between 2 fingers. "The hallucination has a paper trail, Mark," she said quietly. One of the officers stepped inside, the metallic click of handcuffs echoing through the vaulted ceiling. As they led him toward the stairs, Mark looked back, his eyes full of a pathetic, desperate rage. Elena didn't look away. She watched the man who tried to erase her being led into the night. She realized then that power isn't about volume or threats. It is about the quiet strength to stand in your truth.